Okay, Seth, here's the Remler chassis. I did manage to get it to work. Boy, this one tested my patience. What was happening, I plugged this in when I got it home, and that strange resistance wire thing that you pointed out to me that was all pulled apart and whatnot, when I plugged that in, it burned up after about 2 minutes. So it was gone, so I had to replace that. It was a 400 ohm resistor, basically, according to the schematic. I poked around in it, it did, once I did that, it behaved pretty much exactly the way you said it would, i.e. you would have hum in the speaker and nothing else. So what I did was I did some poking around. I resoldered a lot of resistors in this thing because the soldering, whoever had this before we got it, the soldering was just atrocious. So I resoldered a bunch of stuff in there, resoldered grounds and stuff. And in the course of doing that, I figured out that there was another one of those 400 ohm resistance wire resistors in there, and it was open. So I replaced that. And then when I was finished with all that, I turned the radio on and it worked. It's a little bit, it was a little bit, sound was a little bit weak. It just wasn't picking up stations all that well, but it was working. So I started adjusting the IF cans, not the IF cans. This isn't a superhet set. This is a TRF set. So I was adjusting the trimmers on top of these cans, and when I was adjusting this one, it broke, and once it broke, the radio went dead again. So what I had to do is there's a very small coil inside there, very narrow or very fine wire, that I had to resolder, and I had to do this kind of MacGyvering routine here to put a trimmer back on there. This is a more modern trimmer. And once I did that, that took quite a while to figure out because I had to glue stuff and do a bunch of stuff. Once I did that, then I have a working radio. So here it is. I'll turn it on.
And I told Bradley we're driving into the tennis center. I said, listen, I just want you to know, it's not like this is. Who was the president 2 terms?
In San Francisco, a fully automated chain restaurant functioning like a with zero interaction between customers and workers. In San Francisco, Margie Schaefer, KCBS.
The left-wing activists of that day, like Jane Addams and others, really complained about that. So a lot of the confusion is
he got 3 times because the program had stopped on his part. And that was a valuable program. I mean, it was really a valuable program, because you're changing these guys' lives. A really good story is... Well, one of the words is freedom. I do know what freedom is, and what it feels like to be having it taken away. And to hold that quarter for 3 hours and rub it, that was amazing.
So wealth that had been amassed by people like Andrew Carnegie, Rockefeller, Morgan.
Snatter.
Want to be more involved in helping your kid's school but lack the extra time to attend PTA meetings and bake sales? No problem. Just shop your local Lucky Store ads for extra savings. Why? Because we're helping you, helping schools.
So I stopped a U.S. Open guest services person. I said, listen, anywhere on this floor I can get like a hot dog or a hamburger? And he starts laughing.
And listen to B2B supply chain. Well, that's good.
Burger for me, chicken fingers and fries for my kid. And I'm like, we get that.
Okay, so it works fairly well. It's kind of like it behaves almost exactly like that Howard console that you did a couple of weeks ago, where the volume control is not really a volume control. It varies something in the RF. In this case, the volume control on this is basically an RF gain control, because it's adjusting the input that you get at the antenna rather than anything in the audio. This radio was apparently the lowest cost Remler radio that was made in 1931, and it does have, all the other ones were super hets. This was a TRF, which is, it does have some limitations. It's not bad, but it's not great. Anyway, got it working. I'll bring it back probably in a couple of weeks. Enjoy the rest of your holiday.